Hello, everyone. I guess this is part five. How you doing? I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the saga of my life, per se. Not really saga, I shouldn't say, but um, hopefully you'll get something out of this. Maybe somebody will contact me through email or whatever, and I can help somebody else. Life doesn't have to end at 62, I guess, or 65 or 70. It is what I'm trying to get across to people. Anyway, I think where I left off on the other one, I had been in the hospital. They were going to move me. My wife, my poor wife, needed to get a hold of somebody. She got a hold through Facebook, actually, my cousin and my brother, and everything. They worked together and got things handled on the financial part of it. My poor wife still, uh, she still wasn't. She was known as my girlfriend. So the I guess what I'm saying is she wasn't my wife at the time. So they were very hesitant to give her information. And every night when she went home, she said she'd cry herself to sleep every night because she didn't know. They wouldn't contact her. If I would have died uh, during the night, they wouldn't have called her. She wouldn't have found out until she drove the next morning, as she did every day for the 3 months I was in there, 3 times a day, to see me for an hour each time. She wouldn't find out until the morning and get there and say, "Oh, sorry, he died last night." And my doctors said and told her he wouldn't be surprised if either way. If I recover, I recover, but he wouldn't be surprised to come in and find out that I had, or got a call in the middle of the night, my doctor, saying that I had expired. But, so my wife came every day, 3 times a day. I wasn't the greatest with her. God bless her. I was agitated. Luckily, what they did was he gave me a lot of powerful drugs to knock me out for probably 2 months. I remember maybe 5, maybe 6 weeks. I was awake and remember the last 2 weeks of intensive care, maybe 3. And that was, the anxiety level was up to here when you have a tube down your mouth. And every time they turn you, it cuts off your breathing. It's a nightmare. I don't wish that on anybody. But luckily, he probably did that. I had some weird nightmares on those heavy drugs. But the anxiety level, I don't think I could have took 2 months worth, 8 weeks worth of that anxiety. Every day I was, when am I going to get off? When am I going to get off? And my father-in-law and mother-in-law would come every day. And back then, just my girlfriend's mom and dad. The kids would come when they were there. And the whole time I'm in there, my wife, like I said, 3 times a day. Thank God her work, knew this is what she needed to do, and they let her have that time. And then he finally pulled the tube out, and I went a whole one day before they shoved the tube back down. He didn't realize that I was building up a lot of fluids, and he didn't restrict any of my fluid intake. So when they pulled it out, it was amazing. It was like, oh, I can breathe, and it got to eat something, basically drink and do what I want. And then the first day that I was out, maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all of a sudden I couldn't breathe, and I actually watched my oxygen go from like 90 whatever down to 50s before I passed out and panicked. And that's the worst thing is it's that suffocation is another nightmare I don't wish on anybody. But I woke up and tube down my throat. I guess my eyes were this big around, and he was right there, and he said, "It's only going to be, I swear, 2 days and I'll have it out." And he was a man of his word. A day and a half later, they pulled it out, limited me to 1 liter of fluid. And I say fluid because it's not just water. If I had soup, that's a fluid. So you don't realize how little a liter of water is until you're limited to it. So I was in there for a month. What we had done was hired uh, the RNs, the registered nurses that were in intensive cares, the ones that were off, 500 baht for six hours, something like that. They would come in the morning when my wife would go to work. She stayed with me in the private room, and then she went to work. They stayed all day. One of them, whoever was off, and then my mother and father-in-law, God bless them too, couldn't speak any English, nothing. They would come in at like, I think they came at like 8:30 in the morning, and they left at like 2:30 in the afternoon, something like that. And they stayed every day with me from 2:30 till 5:30 when my wife would get there after work. And they did that for a month. And the kids came and visited, and everything. You know, everybody did. Um, it's a weird feeling. I don't know how to. I lost after 3 months. You lose the ability to do this. Yeah, I couldn't. I could barely pick up a pen and write what I wanted to say. He didn't want me talking a lot afterwards because he was afraid that that tube had been down my throat so long that it had damaged my larynx in some way. So I wrote a lot, but you lose the ability, you lose atrophy, is that what it is? Nothing. I mean, just to lift your arm up, I couldn't sit up. I mean, it was weird. So they had me physical therapy and stuff. I could barely get up on a walker after a month in there and into an ambulance, and they took me home. The kids were there. My mother and father-in-law were there. Uh, they took care of me. Everything that I needed. Drink of water. Of course, I had to, make sure that I got up and showered and stuff like that. My wife would help me when she was home. If I had to go to the bathroom, I had to manage that. I couldn't expect I didn't want my father-in-law and mother-in-law or the kids to do anything like that. I would never do that. But and then of course the pandemic had hit, and so we were stuck in the house. So I've been in the hospital for 3 months from New Year's Day, 3 months later, and now I cannot leave the house because of the pandemic. So I said I got to get outside and do something. So they loaded me up in the truck, sitting in the truck, and we drove around Surin and stopped at a couple of places to help the locals with what they were selling, whether we got some soup or whatever that we got, and did that. Now I was ecstatic just to be able to do that. Be able to just get out of the house, get outside, do something, and yeah. So we were in the rental house for probably another 6 or 8 months, but I won't go that far down the line. But not yet, anyway. But yeah, so the thing that I want to get across is the unbelievable people, the Thai people. They just, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, my wife, the kids, friends of the family, bringing stuff over, food and, stuff like that. Just unbelievable. Yeah, I just want everybody to know that. That's why I put them on such a pedestal, and I'm willing to do pretty much anything to improve their life, make their life easier. From my mother and father-in-law, the kids, my wife, aunts, uncles, cousins, anybody that I can help within reason. Okay, I will do. I will do it, and do it with no hesitation. And some people will think, oh, you're gonna get screwed. You're gonna get this. You know what? I don't care. It makes me feel good. Like I said, it's not selfless to put smiles on my in-laws' face, to put smiles on my kids' face, on my wife's face, on families' faces it's priceless, right? It doesn't matter about the money. You know, if I don't have it, it's one thing. If I have it, then why not? You know, what am I going to do? Die with a whole crap load of money? No. Can I make people happy building the house in Ubon? That was my idea. My wife never mentioned anything. I said, you know what? I want to do this. I want to build a house on the family land in Ubon. And I built it not only for us to go to occasionally, but it's a big house, you know. They could fit, well, you've seen it if you watch some of the videos. I mean, if people roll out their pads, tie people, and sleep on the floor, you could fit 100 people in that house. And that's what's ever. People want to come and use it. They don't have anything out there in Isan. You know, if they want to come there for a weekend, the aunts and uncles and cook in air conditioning and watch a big screen TV and laugh and that's what it's there for. Somebody passes away, everybody can come and stay there. They don't have money to stay in hotels and stuff, so it's a nice place for them to do that. And on a higher note, if they have weddings and stuff, they can use it. So I owe Thailand a lot. I owe my Thai family a lot. I owe my family in the States a lot. I mean, everybody. I mean, I was useless. I was a 200 and at the end only a 200 and maybe 5 pound hunk of meat. That was another thing. I lost over 40 kilo in that hospital for that 3 months. Of course, I gained most of it back. I'd like to lose not all of it, but most of it. But I need to lose some of that. So I think maybe we're only going to have maybe 2 more parts after this. You guys have been watching, and it's been freaking awesome. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. It's free. And the main point of my channel, I think now, is we're like a family. Everybody comes on. I do live streams twice a week now. And people come on and we talk about Thailand and we talk about that. But the main emphasis too is if you're watching this and you become, you come and subscribe, maybe you've got an uncle that, oh yeah, he was married for 37 years and his wife passed away and, he's just sitting at home and maybe we can, he can get him to watch and talk about it, and life doesn't have to end. Like I said, and I've said it before, if you had told me 5 years ago that, oh yeah, you're going to do this and get married and have houses, and I would have said, oh, you're full of shit. Ain't going to happen, man. I love this one. And I too still love this one, and I love my wife now. But I never thought it was possible. But anyway, so I probably rambled on for at least 15 minutes. I'm sure I always kind of guess. So this is part 5. There'll probably be, I think maybe 2 more would probably be enough. I thought maybe it was going to be a lot, but hopefully this will help somebody. And hope everybody has a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're at. And I will catch you on the next one.